What's up, y'all? I know I look like heck right now, but that's only because I woke up and wow, this is either light or scuff, whatever. The fact of the matter is that like I look like heck right now because I just woke up, but I kind of gotta also get ready for work. So, but okay, I want to go ahead and take this time to point out real quick. I mean, first off, this week has been kind of hectic. Money has been tight, but I've recently learned that because of my credit score and because of how if I go up to the people that I have to pay and let them know, hey, I don't have the money, but I have some money that I can pay, that they're willing to just sort of accept the payment that I have at that moment, and they're willing to work with me as long as I'm upfront about it. So that's actually a good feeling to have because it's not like I don't want to pay, it's that I literally can't pay because I don't have the money right now. So that do feel good. Like that feels relieving because I always was under the impression that they were going to be like, well, actually, well, if you can't pay, then you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I want to pay, but I can't pay because I have this job and I got all these problems. So there's that. Also, I filed my taxes and TurboTax took $200 away from me, and that hurt my feelings a little bit. It's like I really hate this idea. Like they really did go out of their way to basically say, "Yo, we're a free tax service," and then down the line is like, "Oh, by the way, you got to pay for these services from now on." I'm just like, you literally just took part of my refund, and I didn't have that much to begin with. But if there's one thing I know how to do is survive. So survive off a little. I got like just enough money. I had to choose between gas and food again, and I chose gas because I need to get my car to go to work. So I don't have any food right now. So I have been a little bit more hungrier than I should be. However, there has been food in the break room at work, so I've been surviving off of the break room food. So there's that. Why are you posting up your L's? Why are you talking about all your failures? Because of the fact that I like the idea. Because I feel like people have this annoying habit of like they want to see people succeed, but they don't want to see the actual road to get there. They don't want to see the struggle that it takes to get there. They just want to be able. They want to hear people say, "But I overcame it." You know what I mean? I had some struggles, but I overcame it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just some struggles clearly translate to just about anything. And the problem is that nobody wants to actually nobody wants to actually there's some struggles can literally be anything. It could just be I stubbed my toe. You know what I mean? But for me, my struggles are like in other words, I'm gonna come out of this. I'm gonna come out of this bad stuff that's happening to me, and I need to start like saying that more because if I if I say that more, then things will improve for me. So I'm gonna start saying, I'm gonna come out of this. You know what I'm saying? It might take a while. It might, it might take a while, but this is just one small bump in the road. But it's actually not one small bump in the road. It's one humongous bump in the road that I just have to just sort of ultimately go over. But yeah, I don't like the idea of shortchanging actual traumatic events in your life as just like, oh, this is just something that happened. It's like, no, this is important. Like the bad stuff that happens in your life is just as important as the good stuff that happens in your life. So with me, I'm glad to know that I'm glad to know like if nobody else is gonna do it, then I'll do it. And I found somebody who also does it. Okay, if you've actually paid attention to my last few videos or pay attention to me in general, you know that there's a few things that I avoid and I don't really care to talk about. Number one of those things is my love life. I had a girl, I had a girlfriend, and I messed up, very much so. And because I messed up, me and her are no longer together, but we're still friends. You know what I mean? And I don't really want to go too into detail with what happened because I feel like a terrible person every time I revisit it. And from my last relationship, I now know that I am a terrible boyfriend. So I don't like talking about my past. I don't like talking about like my love life, even though I am currently in a relationship right now and I love her to death. But I'm poor. I mean, I'm broke. There's a reason why there's a reason why I'm kind of glad that she's not here. I don't have any furniture. like where is she gonna sit and relax at? So so because of my shortcomings as a boyfriend and as a boyfriend, I don't ever see myself as a. I don't want to become a. I don't ever want to get married because I know that if this is as bad as it's going to be with me as a boyfriend, then I'm only going to be that much worse of a husband. And I don't want to. I don't want to put a woman through that. You know what I mean? I don't want to put anybody. I don't want to put anybody that I love through the crap that I'm going through, like this. And then, and another thing that I tend to avoid is, like I don't like internet drama like that. I don't really care that much about like I don't really like internet drama because of the fact that they involve people that I will never physically meet, and I don't like they will never affect me personally. So it's like celebrities, for example. I don't care about like the only people I tend to focus on, have a lot of hyper focus on, is politicians because the decisions that most of them make directly affects me as a person. You see what I'm saying? And not just me, but if it affects me, it's going to affect other people. So it's like I feel like other people should put like if we put as much energy that we put into like entertainment into politics, the whole country would just like would be like reshaped in my opinion. So so you would be surprised to know that I actually went through the Who TF Did I Marry series on TikTok, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Like I didn't want to watch this. I didn't want to go through these things. But I just found myself watching it and paying attention to it and seeing it, and I realized at least two things about myself. One, I'm not like I will admit that I have shortcomings as a boyfriend, a lover, a guy who, like in other words, if you got me in your life, you're probably gonna have my baggage too. But I will try my best to make sure that, I try my best to make sure that my baggage is just my baggage. You know what I mean? I don't want you to go through. I don't want you to be miserable along with me. I'm gonna try my best to make you happy as long as through the methods that I know that I can do. Granted, if things don't work out, I will not be upset if we break up. You know what I mean? That's my thing. I will admit my shortcomings. I will admit my shortcomings. I will, I'm not afraid to say no. And I'm poly, so like instinctively, I am going to look at other ladies. Am I going to ever do anything with them outside of look at them? Probably not. That lady thinks that I'm hideous. You don't. So, yay. So you wouldn't even try? Of course not. What's the point? Like she thinks I'm ugly. You don't. That's why I'm happy you're here. So, but the fact of the matter is that I do know my shortcomings, and I'm aware of how bad of a person I can be. But I know for a fact that I can't be nearly as bad as Jerome McCoy. Like the stuff that he put this woman through is just like I couldn't. I first off, I'm not gonna lie about my income. That's part one. Like if I'm broke, you gonna know I'm broke because I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be like, I can't do it because I can't afford it. I'm broke. I ain't got no money. Like I'm not afraid to say that because like it's something that I can't control my income. It's like, well, yes, you can. You could just get a better job, and it's like I'm applying for better jobs. They're not hiring me. They're looking at me and going, heck no. I mean, getting a job is about as easy as getting a girlfriend in this country. As if the people don't like you, you're not getting in. So and they look at me and they immediately don't like me, and I can't do anything about that. So I can only get what I can, which isn't the same as with a girlfriend because it's like I can't really get what I can. They have to get me at this point. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm not throwing the line out there anymore. But the fact of the matter is that it's but yeah, like I don't think I like I can't lie. I don't think I could lie about my income like that. I couldn't tell you that oh, by the way, man, I got all this money. Like, no, I'm broke. I am financially unstable. I work for hourly pay. And I'm just now recently starting to get the hours I need to get to where I need to be at. Like I'm sorry. You're not, whatever you probably might financially want from me, like whatever you think that I'll probably be able to buy for you, I will tell you I most likely won't be able to get it, or I will try to get it, but it's gonna take a while because my job pays me every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part one of it for me. But it's like the further down I went, like I don't. There's so much that I don't think that I could lie about. I couldn't lie about members of my family. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best not to owe people money. That's why I don't like asking people for money because I don't want to pay them back. And you know where I came from, if you ask for money, you were weak, and the worst thing that you could be is a weak man. And I was trying my best to not be weak, so I don't like asking people for money. So it's like it's just wild to me just how ridiculous it is that like notice how I said I don't like asking people for money. Notice I didn't say I don't ask people for money because if the situation is necessary, I will, but I will only ask after somebody has offered. I will only ask for money if somebody has basically said I will give you money. You know what I mean? But even then, it will still be kind of like stressful for me to do because it's like I said, I was taught to never ask for help, or I was taught to like never ask for like just never ask for assistance. It's like if I can't do it, then I'll just do without it. You know what I mean? That's I mean it was Louisiana training. You know what I mean? So there's that. Man, I really do not like this scuff on my shirt, but I'm poor and I'm dirty, so whatever. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like I'm watching this thing, and it's like it just made me realize, like first off, like I commemorate this woman for being able to just sort of like be as transparent as she is online because that's definitely like that's a very hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of stressful because at some point she's making it seem like I don't want to be dramatic. No, no, no. You're being the right level of dramatic for what you're going through. This is not dramatic enough. You know what I mean? And like I said, the further I went into it, the more I started to like kind of read into. There was a lot of misogynist and sexist comments and stuff like that. And like some dudes would be like, "Man, shoot, like why you was still with him? Why did you marry him?" Blah blah blah. And it made me realize that love is a weird thing in America. Like I'm probably like I stress in America because I never went to any other country, so I'm pretty sure it's different in other countries. But in America, love is weird. Like there is such thing as struggle love. There is such thing as somebody like being so enamored with somebody else that you're willing to just completely overlook all of their worst qualities just to keep the relationship going, just to keep at some point it's not even about them anymore. It's not even about like being in love with them as much as you just want this to work. You just want you've already devoted so much energy into it. Now you just want it. It's kind of like having an old car that is like beat up and busted down, and you keep telling yourself you're gonna fix it. You actually buy the tools, you learn everything about it, but you notice that like it costs more money to fix the thing than it does to just scrap it. And you're like, but it's like you became so invested in trying to fix the car. Now you're just like, now that I just gotta, if I can just get the engine to run on this car, you know what I mean? It becomes, it's like you're willing to, it's like every single time you fix one thing, something else breaks down. And every single time you fix another thing, something else breaks down. But you're still like, I gotta get this thing to work. It has to, if I could just turn the key and hear that engine and feel that little jump that every car does it's like, if I can just do that, you know what I mean? And I get that. I understand that. But it's just that like, because like it's very easy to say, oh well, that couldn't be me, after XYZ, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if my if me and my girlfriend had problems up until this point, I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like if she decides to just up and like, if she decides to like, just up and tell me it's over, you know what I mean? Like I'll be like, I thought we were doing fine. And even then, like also, what if, and like also, I could be the toxic one in that situation, and I'll be like, well, I didn't even know what was going on, baby, because I don't pay attention to most things. But that's what I'm saying. It's just like but with me, like I said before, I saw this, I thought that I was the worst guy. You know what I mean? I thought that I was pretty terrible. Only to like just see that like holy crap, I could never want to be this bad. Like I could like it's very possible for me to be that bad. It's very possible for anybody to be that bad, to be as terrible as Jerome McCoy. But like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that manipulative. I don't want to be that terrible. Like I don't want to do that. That is the worst I could ever see of another human being. Like, why would you take her to the graveyard and say, "Oh, this is where my grandparents were buried"? Bro, ain't you from Philly? Your grandparents got buried in Georgia? I'm just I don't It's like now I'm starting to question if I was ever that bad to my ex, you know? And it's like I don't think I was, but now I'm like I said, we're still friends, so I still speak to her every now and again. So now I'm asking, was I ever this terrible? You know? And she's like, no, you weren't that bad. It's just, clearly we saw things differently and we saw things differently. You didn't want to change. I didn't want to change. When, you know, I do lie. I'm not gonna lie. I do tell lies from time to time. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm aware that but I don't think I could be like, yo, I'm a CEO of a condiment company and I make all this money, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to tell you how I make my money. It's like, what? One thing about me is I try my best not to keep secrets because like keeping secrets means you're doing something wrong, and it almost like there's only like very few reasons why keeping a secret is a good thing. You know what I mean? There's very few reasons why keeping like no, there's I don't bel there's only like there's only very little good secrets. A surprise birthday party. But even then, that's not a secret because then a surprise happens and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Because so a surprise birthday party is not really a secret. A secret, I feel like, is something that you hide forever. You know what I mean? Because it's a bad thing. You either A, want to shoo it away for the rest of your life and try to be a better person for it, or B, you want to hide it so that you can kind of give the image that you're a good person even though you're not trying to be. Like I did terrible things growing up. I did terrible things as a kid, and I am not proud of them. And I'm trying to be a better person in spite of those bad things. It's a challenge because I know that there's going to be people who are going to see me and be like, "Oh, you're not a good person because you did X, Y, Z back in the past." Because it's like if you did it back in the past, you could do that stuff again today. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want to though. I don't want to do these things. These bad things that I did when I was younger, I don't want to do today. And I'm willing to steer as far away from that stuff as literally possible to become a better person so I can never do that stuff again. Yeah, but you still can. Yeah, well, anybody can do anything. So there's that. In any case, though, like I said, Jerome McCoy just basically like made me sort of like rebuild a little bit of self confidence in myself to realize that maybe I'm not as like maybe I am a bad person. Maybe I do make mistakes. Maybe I will screw up again and again over and over as often as possible. But at least I'm not as terrible as the guy who told his wife that he loved her, and even that is a questionable statement. Because I will say this, I love my girlfriend, and there's only so much that I can do to like show her. But I do love my girlfriend just as much as I loved my ex. But man, I couldn't marry anybody and put them through that kind of like wow, man. I know my hair's screwed up. Like I said, I just woke up, but wow, dude. Wow. I dude, I like I'm revisiting some of the stuff that happened in this, and it's in my brain is just like not processing. Why would you go to this such lengths to be this way? It's like I don't talk to most members of my family either, but it's not because we hate each other. It's ultimately because we're all too busy. That's it. They got lives. They got like I got success. I got members of my family that are successful people now. You know what I'm saying? They're too busy to talk to me, and I don't blame them. I'm a bum. I work, and you know my job doesn't pay me nearly as much as their job pays them. You know what I mean? I shouldn't say I'm a bum. I'll say I am currently not in the situation that I want to be, and I'm in the process of improving that for the better. Yes, I told y'all I am trying to do this positive thinking thing. This video is 20 minutes long, and I apologize. But yeah, I just wow, dude. Like I'm listening to like I'm revisiting the stuff, and it's like I couldn't be that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't want to do that. Like this dude is like this dude should be the standard bearer of what it means to be like peak toxic. Cause he managed to abuse this woman without laying his hands on her once. He managed to put this woman through more pain than I've ever seen. Like, and what's even sadder is that like you know the fact that she was willing to just like kind of continue on with it just to make things work until she finally had enough. It's like this is a bigger story. There's more to this than people are like willing to pay attention to. This is probably the only time I'm going to talk about this too, by the way. So you know, just enjoy, cause man, wow. At least I'm not Jerome McCoy. At least I'm not Jerome McCoy.